Welcome to Game Chat, where Alan and I talk about the latest game news. In our news section today, well, we just got done talking about it. GTA 6 might be delayed again for the third and fourth time, even though we just got released date of May of next year. But is it because of GTA Online, or is it because of Red Dead Redemption being released for the new mod? Doom, the Dark Ages, has a throwback to their Melee, and we're going to talk about gameplay because one of us has played it already, and yeah, I'll talk about that. Rumors of a new Friday the 13th game could be in the works for us for those Friday the 13th game fans. Fortnite is finally on iOS. For those people who are missing out over on Apple, you're going to get your Fortnite crew. The new Xbox update will now allow you to have any game that you play is now going to be your home screen picture on your background. So if you want to play, like Fortnite, the flash screen, that could be your background, or COD, or any game you want, instead of taking a screenshot and loading it on. PlayStation is losing their Star program since 2015. So we're going to talk about that and more on this episode of Game Chat. So sit back and buckle up. Hey, Alan, how's it going? It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah, it's been about a month.
Yeah,
how are things?
Things are going good.
Nice.
I've been putting around.
Staying busy?
Yeah. Doing this. Typical spring stuff.
Yep. I'm now that I'm back in my house, I got a little more time for games. So it's been fun to try and catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been playing?
I've been playing Fortnite mostly, COD, and Game Pass finally released 3 new games on there that, I might actually get into. Doom being one of them.
Yep.
Police Simulator.
Police Simulator and Firefighter Simulator.
If you're welcome to join me anytime you want to go.
I might have to jump in and do some multiplayer Police Officer Simulator with you because I just started checking that game out last night, and it's a lot of fun.
It is. Try Firefighter Simulator. It's fun too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give both of those a check.
You gotta get. Yeah, it's fun. They're fun. They're not new games, guys. They're old. Because I've seen quite a few gameplays on YouTube, and there were ones that they came out on Steam for us PC users, and I was going, can't wait to get the price down to where I can afford it. Then all of a sudden I go, oh my God, it's coming on Xbox. It's coming on Game Pass.
Yeah. Hey,
I want to play it.
Better late than never, right?
Yeah. I played it day one.
Yep.
Both of them. And
Nice.
then we'll get into Doom when they talk about the little melee. But Doom, so far, Doom it's kind of like Gears meets Halo. Yeah.
The thing I've seen as a comparison is that it's like it's like Doom meets Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Or Devil May Cry, where you're kind of doing there's a lot of bad guys that you've got to like manage and do kind of in a certain order, and like there's a lot of I haven't played any of it yet.
No,
but both of my sons already beat the game. They beat it within like the first 3 or 4 days because they just sat down and just barreled right through it. They love those games.
I can do it easily. If you don't want 100% completion, you can do it easily.
Oh yeah, it's
if
like
you
a
just want to do a story run.
Yep, you can do that. It's like a 15 or 20 hour game, I think.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to it story wise, but man, there's a lot of secret stuff.
You don't want to do any of the secrets. You don't want to. You just want to play the gameplay. You can do it in 5 minutes, or not maybe like 3 hours.
Yeah.
3
No,
to
you
4
could,
hours.
you could. I'm curious to see what the speed runs will be like for this game. How quickly
And-
people can get it done.
Yeah, all it is just basically, like you said, Dark Souls or something like that.
Yeah,
and
it's
just-
like I think of it as like the Rocksteady Arkham Batman games.
Yeah.
where it's kind of button mashing, but you're doing combos and stuff and doing this and that, and you're jumping, blocking this guy, then block this shot, then hit this guy, and that kind of back and forth.
Or I just take care of these guys and then go over and block.
Go take
shield
care of-
block
yep.
him,
Yeah.
knock him out with my shields and stuff like that. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, no, yeah, the graphics are really good. The gameplay
Oh,
is really,
graphics
really
is
smooth.
great.
A
Oh,
lot of fun.
yeah, it is. And now when we get, I'll make sure that we're the first one we talk about. All right, that's it for new or games we've played. Moving on to trivia. If you were actually not born in the last 20 years and was crawling under a rock, you pretty much knew the answer to this one.
Yep.
Yes, it was a flagpole. For Mario, what object does Mario typically leap over after completing every level in the earliest iteration of his franchise? Yes, it was a flagpole, but it was not just. It's every game pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
You have to jump over either a flagpole, the Nintendo version or the Super Nintendo version. It was a flagpole with 2 flagpoles with a bar going across.
Yep.
So it means it's just different variation of the same
The same thing. Yep.
same thing. So
In terms of my trivia question from last week or last show, which was, what do you in Mortal Kombat 1? You can trigger an appearance from Reptile. What do you have to do to trigger an appearance from Reptile in the original Mortal Kombat 1? This is what you had to do. You had to be playing on the pit stage. You had to win with a double flawless victory, 2 rounds in a row without taking any damage. You cannot use any blocks at all during the match as well. There needs to be a silhouette that flies past the moon in the background. Sometimes it's Santa Claus, sometimes it's a witch, and it happens once every 25 to 50 matches. And then you have to end the fight with a fatality, not a stage fatality, which on the pit was just an uppercut and they go down.
Yeah.
So if you do all those things, then it says you have found the secret character, and you go down to the bottom of the pit level of Mortal Kombat 1 and you fight Reptile, who's just a green scorpion. He's got Scorpion and Sub-Zero's moves. So nobody got that question, and nobody got Darren. So we are gonna.
actually, I thought one of the
They didn't comment it. It wasn't
No,
on.
they didn't comment it.
Listen, we're gonna follow the rules here.
We
You
gotta
gotta
follow the
comment
rules.
on the video. You
Come
can't
on,
just yell
guys.
out to us on the street. How are we gonna know where to send it?
By the way, it was it was the one that him and I know who it is.
Oh, I know who it is. Yeah, yeah.
It's one of our gaming quiz
Yeah.
persons that knows just about everything about gaming.
Yep. Well, you see, that's great. He knows the trivia, but he's got to put the answer in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it didn't help. Our show didn't show up until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this week's trivia is what third-person shooter video game developed by Nintendo was released in 2015 features a character known as Inklings that can transfer between human and squid-like forms. That's the one I've got this week.
All right.
And what did you get this week? Or do you have one this week?
I do. I'm just trying to double check it right here. What is the biggest selling video game of all time?
Even I got to think on that
Yeah,
one.
it's a little bit of a tough one, but let's see what we can get. It's a multi-platform game. It's one that's been out for obviously. It's one that's been ported to a bunch of different systems, different versions. So, as always, you know the answer. Put it in the comment section down below this video. You might have a gift card coming your way. Aaron's trying to figure it out. You can't get the prize.
No, I'm I'm not getting the prizes. I'm going to write you this piece of paper. I'm going to write you the answer and write you what I think it is and slide you over to it. Is that what it is?
We'll see. I'll tell you after. I'll let you guess after. How's that?
Because there's a couple that are coming on top of my head. That there's a couple that could be, or 3 of them that could be it. So, all right. Well, we already moving on to our news. As always, Doom, let's just talk right off the bat. Doom Dark Ages pays great respect to the franchise melee weapons history. And I haven't got to this level yet, but despite making some various obvious changes, Doom Dark Ages will still adhere to the modern franchise formula, making it so a old fart can read it. Weapons that players need to smartly utilize throughout a range of fast-paced combat arenas, while games of precision over reliance on new PRA system, which is basically,
A blocking system.
system. Which is you can use shields and whatnot. And I haven't got to it yet, but I've seen in pictures shield with blades on it.
Oh yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
I haven't got to that yet.
There's a couple other surprises in that game as well if you keep going, in terms of vehicles.
Vehicles.
I'll leave it at vehicles. That's probably the best way to put it. I don't want to spoil it for you because
I haven't got to. I just did the first mission, and
I think you get into the second or third mission and you get a couple of things that are.
I got into the first one and I'm like, not bad. I haven't touched it since.
Yep.
Because that's when like I said, it's when Fire Simulator came out. Please.
Yeah. No, there's been
I
feel like there was a couple months there where it was like I'm struggling to find something to play, and now it seems like a lot of good stuff's coming out. So I'm here for it.
I'm not struggling anymore.
Yep.
Imperius Division, the title that still offers satisfying game loops, compact ranges of returning demons, and will host each aiming type, which is what we're talking about. So the melee they're talking about, if I can find it, is beginning of the franchise. We define it. Armaments like rocket launchers, hazmat rifles, and devastating BFG 9000 up close and personal melee combat was always played as a big role in the franchise in the classic Doom games. Players could always use their fists at the last resort when the ammo ran dry, with a classic chainsaw then acting as the next step up from close quarter arrangements. Yes, I love the chainsaw. Mm-hmm. The chainsaw was always my favorite. If you run out of ammo, just start chainsaw.
Yep.
Till you found the ammo. But also rocket launcher too. Nice good replaced rocket launch.
Yeah.
Would get them.
I remember Doom going to the old computer stores in like the mid 90s that would have like, a compact Presario on display, and you could check out a couple of games. They always had Doom on there.
Oh yeah,
and it was easy. Like is it such an easy game to pop on, but it always that's what they used to like show off the graphics of games back in the mid 90s.
Is always Doom, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. Few other games were the best games with the best graphics to show off.
Yeah.
COD being recent.
Yep.
Were the games that, oh my God, this game can play Doom. You can play anything you want.
Yep.
But yeah, nowadays this game can play Cyberpunk. You can do anything you want.
I know. Yeah, it's a different level of accessibility now.
Yes. But and by the way, for those who still want the old Doom series, go on Xbox Game Pass. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, actually.
They have the original.
Yeah.
All from Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom all the Dooms.
Yep.
From all the
The all the 2D ones all the way up through the 3D ones. Bethesda's got all of those on Game Pass.
Yeah, I played Doom 1 and 2. I'm like, damn. Damn, I remember these. These were nice.
Yep.
These what we used to call video games.
This was the peak of the video games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what video games are all made of. So yeah, it's a definitely a good game. Keep on playing. Definitely play it. Definitely
Yep.
doing it. Oh yes, another one I forgot to get back real fast. One I was playing. I'm almost done. Firewatch.
Oh, Firewatch. Yeah. Is it good?
I'm almost done with it.
Nice. Nice.
It's a okay game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's one of these stories that you just quick story.
Yeah.
You could do it within easily 15 or 12 hours
Yeah.
of just sweating it.
Yep.
You know, just it's like 7 or 8 levels. You know, find out why I'm not gonna give it away.
Yeah. But it gets it looks really kind of peaceful and serene, but it's not actually like that, right? Yeah.
No, it gets worse
Yeah.
for you. It gets worse for you.
Okay.
The further on you get,
All right.
it gets worse. And it's almost kind of like choose your own venture type of deal where you have to make decisions.
Yeah.
For make this if you want to be a total jerk to
The story's going to change based on
Delilah, the friend you got over supposedly the other watchman.
Yeah.
In the other watchtower. Yeah. How much of a jerk you are towards her.
Yeah.
That's funny. How much relationship you're going to have with her.
Yeah. Jeez.
So, anyways, moving on to that. Also, let's go on to Red Dead Redemption 2, Nintendo Switch, and PS5, and Xbox, and upgrading version is in the works. And also, like we just hinted, it might be the key reason why we're not getting GTA 6. Not in May. Yes. Right. Certainly after we were, put this down before it gets too much of a distraction. Shortly after we went off the air last night or last month, GTA decided to release GTA 6 trailer 2. And I watched it, went, oh my God. I want it. I don't care how much it costs.
Yeah.
I'm going to play this. I'm going to play GTA 6. Yeah. But here's the two things. We'll just skim GTA 6 and in this. GTA 6. I finally found out reason why they took 5M. My personal opinion is they are going to turn it into a life, Life server. Now, if you haven't played a life server, they suck. Because of the fact it is like real life. You got to eat, you got to stamina, you got to drink your water. You're limited on how much money you have. You're limited on how much vehicles you have. You only have one vehicle, and if you smash the crap out of it, you're out of a vehicle.
Yeah.
No. No. That's not GTA.
Yeah. No, we'll see. I think that's going to be an option that they have for GTA Online.
Because you got career mode. It looks like you got career mode in the GTA trailer that I saw.
Yeah.
And you saw it too.
Yeah.
There's a career mode. It looks like there's a career mode. You can play police, civilian, firefighter, anything you want.
Yeah.
Like a career mode, like a life server. But my question is are they going to turn it into a life server, or are they going to turn it into a type of server that we had, where it wasn't a life server, it was just a regular
role play server.
Role play server.
Yeah. No, I think that's where it is. That was the whole reason they bought 5M and what they want to implement. I think they're going to come out with my my guess is that you're going to be able to have your own private server, just like you were on PC, but you're going to be able to do that on console. And it's going to be just like if you have a private server through Arc, through Nitrado, I think it is. You can pay whatever it is.
The one I used to use.
Yeah, so I think they're bringing my thoughts with all of that is that they're going to be bringing in 5M to
Through
handle all the infrastructure for setting up private servers for people and maintaining
through
them.
GTA Plus.
And I think it's going to be through GTA Plus. I think it'll be something of like, hey, keep your GTA Plus subscription and you get a free private server or something like that.
Yeah, because I already tried to get on 5M, and I can't.
No?
I can't. I tried to, shortly after this was released, OCRP, Jeff had his, OCRP had his live server, so it got me the itch again,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to hop on 5M and just to see what I can do.
Yeah.
I can't even get on 5M.
Ah.
I couldn't even get past, won't even load. It says 5M doesn't support GTA 5 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So like that version of GTA 5 anymore. I'm like, what? So okay, obviously they shut down 5M servers.
Yeah, let me see.
So anyways, yeah. And then that's what we hope. They had a release date of May 2026. But today, this was broken today, just before we went on the air, it might be possibly delayed again.
Yeah.
Because, well, he heard GTA Online is the reasoning. I've heard RDR, they're going to have a new release of Residential or Red Dead Redemption 2. They're going to keep the 2, but this one's a mod, which means it's a kind of like a updated
Yeah.
release. Like a.
Yep.
They're keeping Red Dead Online, but they're just going to update it to update the story, update the characters.
That would be nice if they would, because that game is fantastic and they
Yeah.
basically ditched it.
And they are saying, because of this fact, GTA 6 is now going to be delayed because we can't have 2 releases at the same time because it won't be fair for GTA 6 or the other one.
Yeah, I'm not putting much stock into that one.
That's what I've read from comments from Rockstar.
Well, Rockstar is also releasing their
two
game.
takes.
They're releasing a game with at the same time as a Star Wars movie on the same day, so it's going to be a little interesting too. That's when the Mandalorian and Grogu movie comes out. It's May 26, 2025. So, what will I be doing first on that day? I'm not sure.
Well, let's see.
That movie looks
if
great.
I had them, yeah, I haven't seen the trailers yet. But yeah, it depends on if I have the money.
Yeah. Yeah, and this game absolutely will cost at least $80. Grand Theft Auto, the base version. I think
It's gonna come out on what?
Nintendo just set the market by saying the Switch 2 games are $80 and $90. I think it would be silly for any other video game company to not charge that price.
Where the hell games were? You and I were bitching when games were $20.
Well, I mean, they were. And there was a time before there was like the standard pricing where like you look back at old ads and GoldenEye was like $110 when it first came out on the Nintendo 64, but other games that came out at the same time could be $25, maybe $30. Yeah. So there's always been wonky pricing. It was more consistent to have weird pricing for games than I'd say probably in the Xbox PS2 era.
Yeah.
Then it was $50 for a game. That was your standard price. Was $50. If it was anything more than that, it's because it was a bonus edition or came with something extra.
I mean, I used to complain and bitch and complain about game prices when it was like 30, 40, 50 bucks. I'm going, no, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Then wait till it's on sale. Wait
till it's on sale.
And
then came Game Pass.
Yeah, which is fantastic. And it's like
then came the PlayStation Now.
Yep.
And then I'm going, nope. I'm not even going to touch EB Games or GameSpot. I'm just gonna wait till it comes on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And
Yep. If I
get
really
it for free.
it saves a lot of money
Actually
in the
pay
sense that there's
$16.99 a month.
Yeah.
$16 for it.
it's I mean, it gives you the opportunity to play a lot of games that you don't want to spend money on.
And it gives you an opportunity to play games that you haven't played since you were a kid.
Yeah. Or if you want to just try a game out before you buy it. That too. You know, and that's the thing. It's with Game Pass, it's $15, $16 a month, but if there's a game coming out that you really want, you're going to buy it anyway. You know what I mean? And actually having the Game Pass subscription saves you a little bit of money too. So
Yeah.
on,
Don't get me started
on
with
certain
EA
sales.
and their stupid college football and Madden sports. Yeah, don't get me going there because they force you to buy it.
Yep.
Because if you play it on cloud game, as soon as you go on, you need to buy this, or do you want to continue the free trial?
Yep.
It's like, dude, no. There's a reason why you're on Game Pass. There's a reason why I'm taking you from Game Pass. So, anyways, yeah, we're hoping to play it, hopefully it's not true, hoping all these rumors are not true and all that stuff.
Yep. We'll see. Either way, I've already waited this long for GTA 6. They can delay it. They can delay it as much as they want at this point. I'm just happy I got a second trailer. Maybe I'll start asking for a real release date in a couple years.
Yeah, real release date, maybe next year, hopefully. All right, let's get on. I always don't like to talk about rumors, but this one, I know a certain co-host of mine, his heart would go pity-pat if this was true. Rumors as a new Friday the 13th game could be in the works.
Mm-hmm.
From Game Rat. Oh, you heard it too?
Yeah, I was looking at the story here. Harry Manfredi, composer for the previous games, said he's working on a new Friday the 13th game. It's not being made by the same people. Just skimming these stories, it looks like they're finally figured out the licensing issue that caused them to shut down the Friday the 13th game in 2025 or 2024.
Yeah, it went offline just almost a year ago.
Yep. Yeah, in June 2024, Cinestealth published a rumor that not one but two Friday the 13th games were in production, one multiplayer, one more linear. Now, go back to Stryker's statement. The agency calls it the Friday the 13th, the game, which is the exact title of the other erstwhile gun-produced multiplayer game. So this article just kind of gets confusing a little bit. But
It gets confusing, but according to this, it sounds to me like they're going to release, or they're just going to release the games they've already had in production to release them, and they say, "All right, we're done." Walk away.
They might, yeah. It didn't. Not knowing anything of the game that they're working on, if it's a like they said, rumor, one multiplayer, one single player linear.
And then they talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. The only problem with that is it's not cross-platform other than Xbox, and your Xbox has to be the same Xbox as the.
Yeah, the generation-wise, it's got to be the same one.
Same gen. Because I have a friend who has the older gen, and I have the newer gen, and we can't play together.
Yeah, it's different versions of the game.
Yeah.
The same, like GTA 5 does that.
It's stupid.
Yep, it's frustrating.
It's frustrating, yeah. So we don't play Texas Chainsaw Massacre with each other.
It's
We play
that game.
day-
That game
day
dropped
by
off
day.
quite a bit. It is a lot of fun, but it got stale because it feels like all the maps are the same. There wasn't a lot of variety in the characters, but it was certainly scary.
It was fun, but what killed it is I just said what killed it.
Yeah.
The cross-platform.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible to play with people, and that's the thing. You get so many people on different platforms nowadays.
No, I mean, what would have worked if you had Xbox play with Xbox and PC,
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter what generation it was, it's just Xbox alone.
yeah,
Played with them, then yeah, it would have kept on going. Or Xbox and PlayStation, like Fortnite and COD is,
Yeah.
Across all platforms, it would have kept it going. But unfortunately, they went, okay, generation,
Yeah.
PlayStation, PC.
Well, the current gen, the PlayStation, your PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S can all cross-play with each other. But original Xbox One and PlayStation 4 players have their own servers.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that can play with each other.
And that's what killed it.
Yeah.
Because everybody has Gen 1, like my friend has a Gen 1. She
Yeah.
has an Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox One.
Yep.
But not an X or an S.
Yeah,
It's just
but then
plain
if
old
she does,
Xbox
if you
One.
do the cloud streaming, which I don't think this is on cloud gaming anymore, but if you did the cloud gaming, it would be the Xbox Series S version,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
frustrating.
It's
Which is,
frustrating.
it's a cool way to play a new generation game on an older system like that, but it's kind of just disingenuous too. I
Yeah,
mean, you're just streaming at that point.
Yeah, you're just streaming, which is stupid, and we'll get back.
Yeah.
Wake up with the times. Whoever makes Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, they'll get there. But I'm all for a new Friday the 13th game. I spent way too much time playing the original game, and it is fantastic. And rest in peace, Friday the 13th, the game. Yeah.
All right, you heard me. You're here listening to this. This is right. Fortnite is finally on Apple iPads.
Yay!
In the USA. Yes, we are in. Fortnite is back. It's back, baby, after 5 years. It only took the COVID to kill it, and as soon as we got back after COVID, we brought it back. Told you. Zip, it is. So Fortnite back on iPads, and a lot of people are going to be happy about it because they finally fought the battle and won. It was epic. So yeah, and it will be on, May of 2025. Earlier today, May 20th, epic. Asked the court to force allow Fortnite back on iOS again, arguing that Apple's created an artificial roadblock to distract Apple files for the same. Epic argues for the stay, while Epic argues enforcement injunction. Judge blah, blah, blah. So basically, Apple appears to throw in the towel. So after a 5-year dilemma, this will rip effects for years. Will have ripple effects for years to come for Epic and Apple. Other developers on iOS ecosystem for now will hover, seeing this chapter is finally closed. So basically, Apple goes, okay, we give up.
Yeah, about time. About time, too. It seems very frustrating that they kind of just would. I understand they're trying to set a precedent and not set a precedent that other companies would take advantage of, but it was just a giant disservice to people wanting to play the game on an iPad or iPhone.
And not only that, but the reason behind it was stupid.
Yeah, well, they just wanted more. Yeah, Epic Games wanted more money. It's.
And it's not like they were going after Joe Blow off the street.
Yeah.
Somebody that don't know how to build an app or build games or build anything.
Yeah.
It was a well-known
Major company.
that with backing.
Yep.
It's not just Fortnite. They build Rocket League. They make Rocket League. They make tons other games. So, like I said, you're not talking about some first class, third class gaming developer.
I think Apple just wanted to keep the money. They wanted to keep the amount of money that they get for people purchasing V-Bucks through the Apple Store, as opposed to going directly to Steam or the Epic Games and buying it. That was the whole crux of the argument, was that Epic wanted to be able to send
50-75 or 50-50 or 50-25 or make a deal.
Yeah, no,
Apple.
but Apple didn't want to do any. Well, that was the thing. Apple Apple. That's why there was the lawsuit. Is that Epic said, "Hey, we don't want to. We want to be able to sell people money on our platform through your platform." And Apple was like, "No, we're gonna keep that money on this side."
Well, I don't blame Apple.
Yeah. So I mean, it was butting heads in that sense, but ultimately it came down to just people missing out on Fortnite for 5 years on an iPad.
I don't blame Apple, but I don't blame Epic at the same time.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
I think
was-
yeah. I'm curious as to what the full verdict
Curious
was on
what
that case.
if Apple will let them do it, or they're going to go through Epic Games to buy the V-Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out. But they don't say when you're allowed to back on. It doesn't say when you're allowed to open it up. It'll still be another year or two before we can even see it.
Yeah.
So, but yes, this is a turn for the right way. It looks like Apple finally gave up, and it's turned for the right direction.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on to, unless you got anything other than GTA 6, the trailer. I know.
Well, we already talked GTA. There's the SAG-AFTRA video game strike continues. Voice
Over AI.
over unauthorized AI use in voice and motion capture performances. One game that is affected by that is League of Legends. They've reverted back to using just basic voiceovers due to the strike. The other issue was the Darth Vader AI in Fortnite. SAG-AFTRA is now suing Epic Games for the unauthorized use
I heard about this.
James Earl Jones's voice in Fortnite. So AI companion in Fortnite. It's James Earl Jones's voice. It's AI, so you can talk to it. It'll talk to you back.
Yeah. One of my friends did it, and he said they had a nice little conversation with him.
It's something you can do.
They
Yeah.
were just nice little conversation with Vader, and Vader would answer back to him like a normal person. It was
it's-
kind of fun.
It's a big step in integrating AI characters in games, but it's also a step back in the sense that there's a video game strike right now, so they couldn't legally hire anybody to do the voice acting.
Yeah.
So they
But
went,
James is dead, so.
and his family and the estate has given the permission for them to use
That's
these
all they
voices and
need.
everything. That's true. The problem with
No, you go in front of a judge. Judge will look at that and says, goodbye.
yeah.
Because legally, that's all you need. You need permission from.
And that's
state.
what they're working on right now, is that they don't. That's fine if they can do that, but it's also, while the strike is going on, they are using they could. This is a situation to where they could have actually hired similar voice actors. They could have done other things that wouldn't have violated the ongoing strike that's going on. So it's kind of like, a business goes on strike and all the workers are outside, and so the business is like, all right, I'm just gonna grab a couple guys off the street and bring them in. Well, you can't do that. That's going when you're in the negotiating process. It's kind of just in bad faith in that sense. So
It is,
it's interesting. I think this strike will probably last a while. Apparently, they have everything figured out with getting this strike resolved. The only thing that they're stuck on is the AI use of people's voices in games, with or without their consent, and how much they're going to get compensated for. Apparently, that's the only. Everything else they agree to. The biggest sticking point is the use of AI and the compensation for the people using it. Because I could make my voice available as a AI voice for something.
Yeah.
I will never get another job again. Somebody's going to buy that once or use it or
Yeah, exactly.
whatever one license, and I'm out of a job because they can now make me say whatever I want.
Yes, true.
So it's trying to protect the rights and the abilities of the actual actors to be able to do the acting and the voice acting and the voice work, as opposed to just, hey, let's just buy the rights to this guy's voice and slap this on.
Exactly.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's, as they say, it's a very, very slippery slope.
Yeah, it's and they're they're trying to not the voice actors guild is trying to not, bargain themselves out of a job.
Yeah.
Because if they don't fight
But
for
at
this,
the same time, they see the use
yeah,
of what AI could do, but at the same time, it's hurting them.
yeah, no, AI can do a lot, but AI can also take their jobs.
Exactly,
And they can
and
be
that's what
left
they're
with
trying to
nothing.
do. They're
So
trying
they're
to
trying to keep some legal protections in that sense.
Yeah, keep them from completely losing their job.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway, it's slippery slope, and I thought they were done with it, but obviously they're not done with the strike for AI.
No.
But like I said, I had a couple friends who actually played that and beat Vader, and like I said, they were just having a nice conversation,
Yeah.
chatting with Vader like he was another teammate.
Yep.
And to me, from child that grew up with technology, like, ooh,
This is interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got my ears perked.
Yep.
It's like, really? You could talk to Vader just like you would?
Yeah.
It won't be much longer, because remember, I grew up with the very first holograms.
Yeah. Yep.
These little 2D, you've seen them.
Oh, yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
That Dungeons and Dragon game that was supposed to be all new
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah.
All it was just these 2D characters that look like 3D running
Yeah.
across the screen. It's your
Ridiculous.
arcade.
Yep.
3D. And they were real actors, too. They were supposed to be real actors running across. But that was supposed to be the holograms, but now it's not. All right, moving on real fast. New Xbox update makes key improvements. Microsoft rolls out a new Xbox update, allowing players to further customize their home screen, and the changes sound pretty nice. For now, the new features are available on Alpha Skip Ahead and Alpha users before anyone else gets to try it. So, if you want to try it, sign up now for the Insider program for Xbox. You can do it to get early access to Xbox updates. Microsoft said it's receiving feedback from fans that they want the home screen on the Xbox to feel more personalized. Yes, I do. That's one thing I'm kind of missed with this. Because PlayStation, you could do just about anything, personalizing it.
Yep.
You can put a picture, just go to photos, put a picture like a computer, background, do whatever you want, customize the scroll, the toolbar and everything. Yes, that's the one thing I missed about
PlayStation.
from PlayStation. But feel more personal, especially fans have asked Microsoft to hide titles that they don't regularly use in general, making a home screen feel less crowded. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd rather keep the thing scroll. That's one thing I like about PlayStation or Xbox. Be able to scroll through all the apps that you have on the screen and, oh, I want this game, click.
Yep.
But no, they keep like the first 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games, 9 or 10 games on there. Top 10 games on there.
Yep.
On there, and then below that, then you got your, you know how it is, the loading screen.
Yeah.
New update is attempted to give fans some update with those concerned in mind. Microsoft says this update is a part of ongoing efforts to make home more personal and flexible and responsible to your feedbacks, the company's explained. So basically, the update, we don't know when it's coming out. Should be come out later this year. So yeah, when it comes out, you're going to get you're going to have better customization.
All right. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to that too. It says Epic Show Games is June 8th with Outer World 2 direct broadcast following immediately after. So we got that coming. Also, the Microsoft recently raised the console prices while companies will start charging. Yes. Here it is.
What, the Xbox price raise?
Yeah.
Yep.
Here it is. He was talking about how Nintendo Switch was doing it. Now they're doing it too.
Yep.
$80.
Oh, for games? Yeah. Yep.
They did it at $80 later this
Well,
year.
they've raised the prices on Xbox consoles and controllers and stuff too.
Yeah.
I think the consoles are now an extra $100, extra $30 for Elite controllers, extra $25 for regular controllers. So, and then starting in the fall, their AAA titles will be $80 going
Yeah,
forward.
they're pricing themselves out of business.
Yep.
Them and Sony. That's just my personal opinion.
I think they should just eat the extra price.
Yeah. I got a nice little conversation with somebody over in Swanton yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. All right, moving on to PlayStation is shutting down the Star program. If I can just, stars are blurred out. If I can get it to pop up. Come on. Okay, as of today, PlayStation Stars will no longer accept new members for this version of the program. According to Chen, if you are in the program, users can still deal their digital collectible points leveled up their status till the 3rd of July. After that date, there will be no new PlayStation Star campaign, so which means it's the same version of Xbox's points
Yeah.
system. This version of its PlayStation Stars will end in November of next year. So get those points out. Use those points.
Because they're not coming back.
They're not coming back. So that's pretty much what I got.
Yep.
In under an hour. Yeah.
Just under. All right.
Just
Well, yeah, I think that's all I've got. I don't have anything else. Let me look at my sheet, my list. No, we covered everything. Looks good. All
Looks
right,
good to me.
Darren.
All right. Thanks for watching, and good night.
We'll see you next month, everybody.
See you next month.
Bye.